Hi everyone, today we're going to have a quick look at how you can streamline your experience with Microsoft Teams and how you can make sure that you're being notified of all the relevant content to you. So really briefly, on our left-hand side, we can see all these teams that start with BSC. These are the teams that you've been added to via our network, and these are the teams that are going to exist from 2020 and beyond. Now, really briefly, I can see here that we have some team names that are in bold. All that tells me is that there's been new conversations added to these teams. And when I expand that team, I can see the exact channels that that's happened in. That's a really nice, easy way to see where new conversations are being added, but it doesn't necessarily tailor our experience the way that we can. So the first thing we're going to look at is beside a channel name, we're going to look at the 3-dot options that we have here. The first three are important to us: channel notifications, pin, and hide. So channel notifications, this is how I'll get informed of what's happening within our channels. Now, by default, it's set to off, which is good because you don't want to be notified of everything that's happening with Teams because that would be too all-encompassing. What we want to do is make sure that we're really tailoring this specifically to us. Now, this channel is important to me, so I'm going to select to get banner and feed notifications. A banner is just a pop-up at the bottom of your screen to let you know that something has happened, and a feed will appear in your activity feed, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. I'm also going to select to include all replies because this channel is important to me, so I want to know everything that's happening in there. So I click Save. Now, the other options that we have here are pin. So I can choose to pin a channel to the top of my Teams list. So you can see here that channel has now been pinned up the top. So it's pinned just that channel, not the whole team. I will unpin that now. And the other option that I have is to hide a channel. Now, when I choose to hide a channel, it won't appear here any longer. It'll appear in a hidden channels section. So let me show you an example of where that's being used. So here is the BSc science team. So automatically I can see there's been new content added to Year 12 psychology. But because I don't teach a lot of subjects in the science team, I've chosen to hide these channels. So these channels still exist here, and I've selected not to get notifications for them, but I can still look at them, I can still visit them whenever I need. And if somebody chooses to use the @ feature to draw my attention to something specific in there, then I will be notified of that unless I've turned it off. So again, that @ feature in our channel notifications that we looked at a moment ago, channel mentions will always default to be banner and feed. Unless you go and specifically turn that off, you will always be notified when somebody has used that @ feature to get your attention. So hiding a team means that you can really see what's relevant to you and you don't get inundated with irrelevant channels to your daily operations. This can be useful in a number of different teams because, for example, in our programs and events teams, you might not need to know stuff about some of the careers programs that we have running and other programs that aren't relevant to your daily operations. So you might choose to hide those channels knowing very well that if it became important, you can go back and look at them or that somebody can @mention to bring your attention to that conversation. Now, additionally, I can choose to hide an entire team. So I'm going to go to one of our older teams here. So I'm going to go to this one specifically, and I'm going to choose to hide this team. Now, again, just like a hidden channel, I can still access that in my hidden team section. I can still contribute to conversations within that area, but I'm not going to see it in my teams list, which means I can further streamline how it is that I'm interacting with Microsoft Teams. I can also choose to click and hold a team and drag that up and down my list so I can put my really important teams up the top and the teams that I don't look at as regularly down the bottom. The final thing I'm going to look at is your activity feed. So in our activity feed, we can see here that I'm getting a list of all the conversations where people have replied to me, etc., etc. Now, I can choose to look at these individually through here, which is nice and easy. But alternatively, I can also choose to filter this. So I might go in here and I might want to see specifically where I've been mentioned. So this is my @ mentions. You can see we don't have too many of those. But this is when I personally have been mentioned or where the team has been mentioned. So I can scroll through these and I can certainly see it draws my attention to where I have been mentioned. Now, we can also filter this specifically to people who've reacted to my messages, to unread messages, and to replies. So that's just another way that we can really quickly navigate content that is relevant to us. So really briefly to recap, teams that are in bold have had some sort of communication in there. Channels, the options to get notifications to pin and or to hide a channel are really important. You will notice there that you can't hide the general channel, but certainly notifications, pin and hide are available for every other channel. You can choose to hide a team specifically, and you can also filter your activity to see what's been happening. Hope that helps you, and if anyone's got any other questions, please let me know. Thank you.